It's a new day, guys, and today I'll be looking at 5 features which Redbeat have hinted at being in the Chapter 3 update for Raft. Also, only 93% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so if you end up enjoying this video, please feel free to hit that big red button. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps me a ton. So, as always, enjoy the video. If you guys are wondering where I'm going to get all this information in today's video from, it's actually from Raft's Dev Blog 42, and it was released in November of 2020, and it was basically a Q&A that the developers did with the community, and it opened up a lot of questions and a lot of discussions, and I'll be using them to outline 5 features we might see in Chapter 3. So at number 5 is the new island types, which are almost definitely going to come in the Chapter 3 update. Obviously, we already know there's going to be Varuna Point where you go to and it's involved in the story types, but as you can see from the Q&A that Raft did not too long ago, they stated that there will be more than Varuna Point in the storyline extension, which means it sounds like there could be 2 or 3 more destinations, which would obviously imply a longer storyline. On top of that, they also stated that more standard islands will be added. So basically what they mean by standard islands is the small ones that you just come up to and collect a load of loot at, and they can often be a bit repetitive if you've gone through a load of them. So they've basically said depending on the biomes there will be more types of them, which will obviously increase immersion, make it a lot more fun, and just entice you to explore islands more, because it will give you more things to do when the update actually hits rather than just go straight into the storyline. And to be honest, right now I think there are only about 3 or 4 different standard islands, so if they bump that up to 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10, that would be really cool, and it would just provide so much more replayability, so you don't have to always take the same route each time and bump into the same things, because eventually you keep going to the same islands and you know exactly where things are, and at that point it gets a little bit boring. So this update could be amazing, and the fact that it's pretty much confirmed is even better. Number 4 is the possible new automation methods that Raft have been wanting to add for a while, and I really think Chapter 3 could be the update for them to implement it. The big old Varuna Point is meant to be a construction site, so why can't they build a load of, you know, advanced software like some sort of automation method as seen in the screenshot on screen now? A user actually asked maybe electric smelters, or just a system that automatically puts smelted items into storages, you know, so you don't have to move it manually all the time, and eventually when you get so rich you feel like that's sort of like pointless. You should be able to just do it automatically without having to bother about it. And the developer actually answered saying automating is always fun, which means they've got an open mind and it's something that they'd like to add in the future. And obviously they stated that the battery charger is now added. You guys obviously have to take into account when this was written, it was last year 2020, just after Chapter 2 had been released, and they also said there is no limit to electrical machines, which means the horizons have been stretched so much just by that simple comment. So thank you, Samir. I hope you do add hoppers or something that can effectively improve the quality of life once you get to a certain point and you feel like you've beaten the game. You can start automating things, maybe even make your own factory on your raft. And to add to this point, they're obviously considering other methods of collecting junk, because eventually your nets and things will get so full that you just simply can't keep up. Maybe an automatic disposal system, as seen in the screenshot now. They're thinking of ways to deal with this problem, so maybe convert your junk into other useful things like cosmetics, or maybe you can convert your junk into some special recycled plastic or special recycled metal that you can use to craft armor. Who knows, but I think we can expect to see a lot more automation and advanced mechanics being added in Chapter 3, so get ready for that. You guys with your big old rafts where you feel like you've done everything, get ready to expand even more, because you guys will have a lot to do. I already know it. Coming in at number 3 is character customization, and possibly the biggest feature in this countdown, because I am so excited to see this in the game, and it will be in the game eventually. Andre, as you can see on screen now, answered Shurik's question, which was, will you add new clothes, or just will our characters always be in the same clothes? Because currently there are only 2 different characters in Raft, the old man and sort of like the young woman thing, and there's not really much past that. So if you're ever playing with 2 or more people, it can get confusing, because some of you will have the same character and you'll get lost sometimes. But if they were to just add more characters, you could completely make your character yours, and if you could save it and just use it online with other people, and it would just be amazing. And Andre replied obviously that it's something they've been looking at to add for a long time, but it's obviously quite challenging at the stage that they're at. But you have to remember, this was written almost a year ago, so I'm sure their financial system has changed a little bit since they've released the Chapter 2 update, obviously just before this statement and the renovation update since then, I'm guessing their system has changed slightly because they will have more revenue, more opportunities, and it will just be easier to implement something like that because their dev team might be bigger and so on. As he said, they're not so sure, so it's something we might not see in this update, but I hope it is in chapter 3 update because that would add so much hype, because it wouldn't just change the game experience, it would change the whole way you play the game because you'll be a lot more immersed, because you'll feel like yourself, you can look however you want, and it would just be awesome. I don't think anyone would disagree with me that it wouldn't be amazing to see character customization in Raft. Now, number 2 is the underwater raft building, and this would be an absolute game changer. Now, the reason why I think this could be in the chapter 3 update is because we're getting Varuna Point, and as you know, that place is actually half underwater, and as you can see by the question on screen, Gabriel, one of the devs from Redbeat, obviously considered it, and they know it would be a very cool idea to be able to build underwater and extend your raft under the sea like you would in real life. You know, get a ship deck below the ocean where you can put all your storage and that sort of things, but it would be hard to implement as it would be game changing, and it would probably require a lot of code changing because right now the game is built for Raft above water, but if you expand that downwards, it might change a lot of things and it would be very hard to implement. But he does drop a little "the future will tell" with a smiley face, so who knows, maybe he's hinting at the fact it could come in the chapter 3 update. Now, coming in at number 1 is deep diving with, you know, new scuba gear, new animals down in the deep ocean, maybe a spear gun, anything to enhance the deep ocean, because as you can see on screen, SD Jasper asked the question of, I love the deep diving on the caravan island, any plans for deep sea content, air hoses, diving helmets, bells, etc., and I'd love to explore the deep ocean. And the Redbeat developer actually replied that there's definitely plans for deep sea gameplay content, and the new destination they've teased obviously being Varuna Point, he said it's going to be quite deep, which we all really knew, and they've teased the new anglerfish. And as some of you may know or may not know, the anglerfish actually lives in the bathype pelagic zone in the open ocean, which is in real life, obviously. I don't know if I pronounced that right, tell me if I didn't, but that is about 2,000 meters under the ocean. Now, of course, the Raft ocean will not go that deep, but who's to say you won't be able to go really deep with new scuba gear, you know, and find all these new animals that just don't exist up top. They may drop rare things that you can use to automate, you know, who knows what they can do. The possibilities are endless, but I do think deep diving will be a massive feature in the new update. You know, with Varuna Point, a lot of it will be explored far underwater, and maybe there'll be scary animals, not just the anglerfish, but other things. Maybe you can see the stingrays down there, or the jellyfish, which, by the way, they've confirmed will be able to sting you in the chapter 3 update. I'm not sure if they can right now, but when they add jellyfish properly, they'll be able to sting you and harm you, basically. Now, although that is my top 5, I do have a few bonuses, and one of them is the new Seagull AI is confirmed to be in the chapter 3 update. As you can see on screen now, they will aim to have it in the game by chapter 3, and I guarantee that will be where it's introduced at, because hopefully the seagulls will act a bit more normal. Some of their movements at the moment just don't make sense, so a nice AI update, and it just makes the game more immersive, so I can't wait for that. And on top of that, Andre has done a bit of hinting over here in the question zone. Someone asked, are you planning to add bigger supernatural bosses such as the mama bear, but maybe bigger? And Andre basically put, perhaps, hint, hint. Now, I know this could be hinting towards the whales, which we've just seen added to the game, which are the biggest thing I've ever seen in a game. Like, they are crazy massive, but they're not really a boss. You don't fight them or anything. They've just kind of stood there, and they add to the environment, they make it more immersive, etc. So really what I'd like to see, and I think will happen, is Varuna Point will have this big underwater boss that you'll have to battle deep down in the ocean. And I don't know what it could be. It could be a shark of some kind. It could be a new whale. It might be a giant squid. I mean, that would be amazing because squid do lurk very low. Who knows? Maybe they will add giant squid to the ocean, which live deep in underwater in the Varuna Point and other points of interest, which will be low in the ocean. That would be absolutely awesome and quite scary. Maybe we will get a horror aspect to Raft, and it will turn out to be quite a scary update. So guys, that's going to do for my top 5 today, and obviously the bonuses. It's been awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well as learned something new. Maybe you didn't know about a lot of these things, but I really think you guys should be getting hyped for at least 3 or 4 of these things to be added in the next update, with a few of them obviously being confirmed. Get hyped for the new update. If you want to see more content coming to you guys about Raft and all the updates, etc., make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification notifications so you know when I upload. Remember to like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Talk soon.